Last week, we talked a lot about perspectives, and as we saw, the people who are at risk for the most severe impacts of climate change are often the ones who have the least control or even input into the solutions that could help them or hurt them. It's time to look at some of those solutions. This week, we're going to hear how scientists, designers, and thinkers are approaching solutions and trying to account for those who may not have a voice.
We start by looking at how we build our homes. Dr. John Milhauser is an anthropological archaeologist who studies past civilizations and has collected a few lessons from our ancestors about effective home building techniques. Frank Harmon is a renowned architect who incorporates vernacular architecture. That is traditional design and building techniques not learned in a formal setting into his buildings. Dr. Harmon shares his observational approach to design and explains how sometimes the old ways are the best ways.
What kind of clothes will we be wearing in a warmer future? What will they be made out of, and will they be sustainable? Several graduate students here at NC State and the Wilson School of Textiles are working on those exact questions and finding some amazing results. Dee Sanders and Mara Cuevas Irizarry use enzymes in their work as well to break down dyes that can be toxic when leached into our waterways.
How will a changing climate affect the food we eat? While there has been a lot of talk and disagreement about genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, Dr. Fred Gould works with the Genetic Engineering and Society Center to sort through the information and have real discussions about the impact and ethics and legal questions surrounding genetic engineering.
Global change is having a ripple effect throughout all aspects of our lives, and it's having a huge impact on business and the global marketplace. Economist Roger Van Haven discusses the need to factor in not only supplies, labor, and other typical costs of doing business, but the need to consider environmental impacts as a business expense. He examines one such proposal, the carbon tax, as a possible solution. Some corporations have already found that making their businesses more sustainable and eco-friendly is not only good for the planet, but that it can also be profitable. Dr. Jessica Thomas from the Poole College of Management tells us about B Corp certified companies and how they are changing the face of business.
While we're talking about restructuring business, let's also look at rebuilding our infrastructure. Dr. Joe DeCarolis is a civil engineer who takes a look at what it will take to change the way we generate and distribute energy in more sustainable ways in the future. As you learned by now, this wicked problem won't just be solved by generating cleaner energy. We also have to somehow find a way to clean the atmosphere and oceans of the carbon dioxide that's already been emitted. That's where Dr. Sonia Salmon comes in. She's working on a prototype of a reactor that uses textiles to extract carbon dioxide from the air. If she can successfully scale up her prototype and make it cost-effective, we might see her reactors in action worldwide.
So, as you can see, big changes are already happening in the ways we reduce emissions and work to undo the damage already done. Radical change has often come from and been driven by young people. You and the classmates coming up behind you will be the ones who live in the world we're creating today. Yet today's world is still governed mostly by older generations. In this week's live stream, Dr. Catherine Stevenson discusses how your generation can appeal to and persuade older generations to enact necessary change. It's a big week all about change. Let's get going.